Well, we know at least that one of them was already getting organized before François Legault even announced he was going to leave. So that is Geneviève Gilbo. So she's been already for at least a few months preparing the ground just in case François Legault would be eventually resigning as leader of the CQ and Premier of Quebec. So I would say specifically since what happened with the Gallant Commission and the Sac-Click fiasco, there's a deep cut between Geneviève Guilbeault and François Legault, and obviously we saw it as well in the last cabinet shuffle where she was not reconducted as deputy premier of the province. So it seems what we hear, the rumors are that she was no longer hiding her ambition to succeed François Legault as the leader of the CQ. So she might be the one at this point who is the most organized and the most ready to jump into a leadership race at the CQ. There are other names that are circulating, but for instance, Simon Jolin Barrette, what we hear is that Jolin Barrette has more ideas, that he has real organization to run eventually to try and succeed François Legault. Other names also that are circulating. There's Bernard Drinville, not so sure about this. Christine Fréchette, the economy minister. I mean, she has proven what she's capable of since she replaced Pierre Fitzgibbon. She's holding a very important portfolio within this government, so she could be a main contender. And also Sonia Lebel, who is much appreciated from her colleagues. She has that likability factor. She's right now the education minister, but she's held very important portfolios, both economic portfolios and also social portfolios, justice, president of the Treasury Board. So she has solid experience, a very good background. And also, I would say this aura of somebody who worked for the Charbonneau Commission. So in terms of ethics, especially with what's coming up with the report of the Gallant Commission that's expected by the middle of next month, she could be maybe someone who I would say ticks all the boxes of what's needed for the next leader of the CQ to try and turn things around for this party.
Highway, just a suggestion.
You're totally right when you say that the savior for the CQ might come from the outside world of politics, because, of course, when you've been part of this administration for the past 7 or 8 years, it's difficult because at the same time you have to defend the action of your predecessor while at the same time trying to embody the change so many Quebecers are looking for at the moment. So yes, there could be some contenders. Those whom we know already will not be running. First of all, there's Mario Dumont. So Mario Dumont, he's a big name in Francophone media. He's already ruled out he won't be running. He made it very clear already yesterday that he won't be running, and he repeated again this morning during his show that he won't be running. Guy Cormier, the former CEO of Desjardins, the Mouvement Desjardins, is not going to be on the starting blocks for this leadership race. His name circulated as well. His name also circulated for the leadership race of the Quebec Liberals, and yet again, he's not running for the Quebec Liberal Party's leadership. A name that was brought up this morning in some media is Olivier Primeau. So the guy from and I'm saying this with a smile, but still, I mean, we have to take it seriously because yes, he's someone who's been known as the president of the beach club on the North Shore of Montreal. He's very active on social media doing poutine reviews across the province, but he's also over the past few years taken more of a shift towards politics. So he has a podcast now. He's taking a stance on many political issues of the day on his social media. So he certainly has an interest. And I would say, ideologically speaking, he's pretty aligned with the CEQ. He's on the center right side of the political spectrum. His ideas as an entrepreneur, as a businessman, would certainly be appealing to a certain fringe of the CQ membership. So, I mean, it's just a name that's floating around right now, so nothing serious, nothing confirmed. But Olivier Primeau should be seen as maybe someone who could be running to succeed François Legault. Well, There's two ways to see this. The problem with the CQ is that they're so low in the polls right now that it's going to be very difficult for them to attract a star candidate from the business world, for instance, someone who would leave a very important and steady position to try and run to succeed François Legault. Yes, he or she would become automatically Quebec's the province's premier for a short time until the next election, but then you have to win the next election if you want to remain premier, and that won't be a walk in the park for anybody who will succeed François Legault because this party is starting from so far away from their opponents that it's going to be a hard task to turn things around and win the next election with a majority. So it's going to be tough to recruit star candidates, especially from the business sector. But the other thing I would say is that the advantage right now is that there is no clear successor. There is no, if you look at the federal Liberals just last year, when Mark Carney entered the race, it was clear to everybody that Carney was the main contender and that he was going to win. We don't see that right now with the CQ. There's not one single candidate that we say today is if he or she runs, is certainly going to win that one. So it opens the door to a lot of people who are not necessarily known to the general public, who would be interested in saying, you know what, I'm going to take a chance and try and do this. So I would say right now there's more chances for anybody to win the leadership of the CQ than there would have been just a year ago with the Liberals, whereas it was clear Mark Carney was going to win this one.